Keith has a long list of projects to work on today, and he is busy in the vet barn. Let's see what he's up to.
Who will save us? Who will save us? When the truth in the shadows, all hail to the hero.
What happened here?
I flipped the door around, so now I'm having to.
What happened was the light switch was on the wrong side from the door, and it was very inconvenient. So, it's getting fixed.
So I flipped the door. So now I've got to retrim all of my lumber, and then what else I'm doing after that? And I am installing the mats. I've got a few of them up so far. And then these go up, and I'm putting up a second row up above. The fun part is on these, pull this, pull back, and go in. Same with over here. If you want into the cabinets, just fold it up and you're done. And put it back. And we'll have the padding in here for if a horse wakes up, you know, and kind of flops around a little bit. It'll, instead of hitting steel, it'll have the padding in here. Thank you.
So, John, is it your birthday?
Happy birthday to you.
Oh dear, we're not very good at singing happy birthday. Anyways, happy birthday, John. I have a little video to show you.
Sound are very difficult to hear. So, I invented this motorcycle exhaust. The design is very human. When we start the motorcycle, it will make a very pleasant sound. But it will find very cool, very easy to use.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we're getting ready to bring Yeti in for some complete workup. Now Yeti, if you all remember, when Yeti came in, we bought Yeti from off the slaughter truck that way. She is blind in both eyes. When she got here to the shelter, she had a fever, some nasal discharge, so she automatically got put over in the isolation pen. So we did not finish doing all of her intake because we isolated her for potential contagious. Everything of that has cleared. Last week we did take samples because her third eyelids had me very suspicious. Again, they remind me of a Hereford cow with the early start of cancerized squamous cell carcinoma. And being her that she is white, light colored breed, older, that puts her at a higher risk level for that to be an issue going on. So we've got that sent off. We're still waiting on those results. She's older. She has been a workhorse. So we're going to see what arthritic changes are going on, if there's any other issues that we have not picked up on yet with her. So that way when we get the histopath, we get all the other diagnostics back, we can make a very good sound decision on her long-term, what's going to happen with her.
This has that constant goop.
Yep. Okay, sweetheart, let's go ahead. I'm just going to sedate her where she's a little more calm while we're working around all of her legs and everything. Just that way she doesn't mind us being all around her.
So this time of year is always very interesting. It's warm some days, cold other times. So we're not quite where we can give baths to everybody yet. And they're also starting to shed their coats. So all the horses look pretty scruffy right now.
You need the mounting block?
That would be nice.
I can say, you know, it might help.
I'm not gonna be able to reach up there.
Yeah, might help. How many times Tawny's arms can lift the machine?
So far today, we've taken over 150 x-rays.
We've had a rash here lately, very close space between the spinous processes, the point some of them are touching for kissing spine. So now we're at the point, anytime we see nice space, we're all excited. So, you know, there's very good space. So when a horse is moving, those aren't gonna make contact with each other to be painful, things like that. So those are wonderful to see after we've had several in a row of decreased space. Okay, so here's an example as it's almost touching, so we have decreased space, so a little bit of movement, of impingement of movement, because again, if it gets to a point, it's going to hit. So, you know, up front, we had nice spaces. As we move further back down the vertebral column, we do have some coming into contact with each other. And again, that is painful. If anybody that's ever had back issues and have had issues, I can know how painful it is because I have. So I cringe when I see that because it hurts. Positive news for Miss Yeti is even with her age and her have been a workhorse in her life, her joints are not as bad as I was actually expecting them to be. Now she does walk soundly for us. She's got a little bit of arthritic changes. Again, I would have expected that with her age. So we've seen a lot worse. So we'll make a note in her file again as we get all the other diagnostics in.
Now that we've gotten all the x-rays done, we know that she's okay structurally. We're gonna keep an eye on that. But our biggest concern now is her eyes and what that test will come back.
So a question a lot of people may have, well, if it's cancer, why don't you just take out the cancerous part? Unfortunately, hers appears to affect the whole lower third eyelid, which would be a pretty extensive surgery. And again, unfortunately, squamous cell tends to be invasive and spreads through the body that way. She has both eyes affected, so unfortunately, she already has the goop right now. If we tried to remove all of the third eyelid, she would be even worse shape than she is now. So with the cancer spreading and the extensive amount of tissue that had to be removed, and even then we might not be able to remove it all and leave her any function with those eyelids. So that's why if it does come back as cancer, I will recommend that we give her the last act of kindness instead of putting her through that procedure, knowing that the odds are we're not going to get it all and it's going to take her down in the end. So, but the good news is she has no melanomas that we found, so which is rare, but we may have this. So again, we're going to wait for the official diagnostics and we will go from there.
So we're going to go and get some cats that are running around here freely. I need to grab Tux, Garfield, Tibbs, and Martina so they can get their vaccines updated. So I want to clean this tray up for them and Dr. Nancy can give them their vaccines and then let them go again. Tux is gonna come out of the black circle thing up there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Kitty!
No way. What? She did see that. That's amazing.
We're gonna wait until the horses kind of move away.
Oh, no. Start now. Start now.
It's working. Never mind. You're just gonna get updated stuff and then you'll be released again, okay? Garfield! 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 There he is. He's right behind you. Look. Here comes Gabriel. But Gabriel's good. He got his vaccines. It's okay. We're just going to update your little shots, okay?
I just had to go get their pictures. We just finished their vet exam, so these were over in the vet barn. So I'm gonna put them up on the looking for love wall. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. I think last week, and I got a halter on today and I messed them a little bit. When I went down to pick up his front foot, he did kind of kick up with his back foot, so I just took the lead rope and picked his feet up. He did fine.
Great. That's even more advanced than we thought.
Yeah, so he just needs kind of a refresher.
Okay.
Eeyore, however, will need a little bit more work. He's still pretty shy when it comes to people. Do you have any experience with horses? Mm-hmm. You do?
Yes.
So send her out once a day with a bag of cookies and
That's right.
just get him used to being handled.
Okay.
That'd be the best thing to do.
There we go. My daughter, the donkey whisperer.
There you go. Well, she's getting all the attention over there. And I'm getting one, or...
Oh, no.
No, we're gonna get two.
Okay, well, let's get pictures with you guys with both of them then. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they've been together for the past few years too.
Oh, that's good. Hey.
So you decide?
They're gonna adopt Eeyore and Radar.
You're gonna get both of them?
Yes.
Okay.
We can't have them. Can't separate them. That doesn't seem right. I really came today because we've had horses the last 25 years, and our last horse passed a little while ago. And although we can't replace him because that would be too big of a hole in our heart, it just made room for us to rescue and save a few more pets. And that's really what drove us here today. We are taking Eeyore and Radar because we don't believe in separating families, so we are all about keeping them together and giving them the best home we can. So, being that we're more hobby farmers than farmers, I don't have a trailer and thought that it might be easier to have Corey bring them so I could take the time to prepare a welcome pen and have them all ready to go when they show up. They are going to be living a life of leisure, where they'll be spoiled with treats, make a few friends with our goats, and probably scare our little beagle half to death as they come into the house.
The long-awaited day has came finally. Last night when I sat down in emails, the results were back. It's not good news, but it is what I suspected was going on. Is Yeti is confirmed with squamous cell carcinoma of the eyelids. Some horses, when they get it, it'll be just right in the corner where you can do some liquid nitrogen, freeze it off that way. Sometimes you can remove it just by cutting it out. Unfortunately, with Yetis, both of hers are extensive along the margins, so resection of it would be extensive, leaving her not very good function left. I mean, absolutely no actual function to protect the eye itself. Even if we done an enucleation, that's still not going to get it all. And unfortunately, squamous cell does move on through the body after it starts in the eyes. Now that we have a definitive diagnosis, she has had a last good 6 weeks with us, being on grain. She's getting fed, loved on, petted on. But good news is she got good quality of life the last 6 weeks. So thank you all again for helping rescue her.
We did have a change up in staffing this year, and we have some awesome folks coming out to help us. There'll be different people coming through that you'll get to know briefly, and then they might head on. We're actually gonna be opening up an internship program as well, so people can come to our facility, stay in our bunkhouse for like a week, help us out, and then head on. So get ready to see some new faces in the coming months.
This is Cora. We got Cora originally in the October auction of 2021. She was adopted out earlier last year, and then she ended up coming back to us I think the owner pretty much said that she was too crazy and that she couldn't be handled.
Hello, sweetie. Yeah,
She
so
loves belly rubs.
where was she found?
Somebody surrendered her. She was
Really?
a surrender.
Wow, why? They were just too
I think she
excited.
was just probably too much energy for them, but
I have a healer at home, so I know all about him.
yeah.
And she's a female, and she's almost 4. So
Okay. She just got spayed and it didn't faze her at all. Like she's
yeah, that's good.
She was just telling me that she helped with dogs for the blind, right?
Yeah, I socialized guide dogs for visually impaired people when I lived in California. Yeah. Can I walk her outside?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Well, do you want to adopt her?
I think I do.
You wanna get her?
I found out about Horse Plus through Corey, and I follow you guys on Facebook. Grew up with horses, love dogs, cats, just about anything walks, calls, flies, screams, whatever. You know, animals. I love animals. They're God's gift to us, and they need to be taken care of. Very friendly staff. I love the outfit. I like the fact that the horses talk to each other across the paddock. Looking forward to taking this one home and introducing her to the other 3 and see fireworks begin. But yeah, it was a great experience.
So I had the Mustangs in last week. I'm just getting them used to people, just really slowly having them in here in the training barn one at a time. Starting off, I just wanted to be able to get them to kind of look at me and be comfortable just being in the same kind of pen as me. Eventually that will build up to them coming up to me, being able to initiate that first contact and being able to start handling them. Well, she is titled, so somebody did have her for a year and got the title before they decided to sell her. So she has had work done, but being in the auction, having the people just push on her and probably use whips and stuff to run them through the ring, it got to the point where she didn't trust people anymore. So I'm gonna slowly start working on that. I got her in the chute just to kind of groom on her. I was using the curry comb and she started settling down. She started licking and chewing, and I saw some dreadlocks in her mane, so I was gonna go ahead and clean those up real quick. There's no way of telling what she actually knew before she started going through auctions, so I'm just gonna do what I would with any Mustang that comes in. I'm just gonna start slow. She just tried to bite me. So I got her cleaned up best I could. I got the wind whips and the dreads out of her mane. So I'm gonna call that good for her right now. I'm actually gonna get these Mustangs over here. I'm gonna push her out, and then I'm gonna bring these guys one at a time into this area just to work them. So this is Jilly. Jilly, when we were taking her out of quarantine and bring her down here, she actually jumped through a man gate, kind of like this one that Isabella's filming through right now. She saw this opening and went right over it and bent this all the way down as she was doing it. And then When I was trying to get her back with the other Mustangs, she jumped over another panel and bent that one as well. So with her, I really have to just try to keep it as low pressure as possible. I just want her to look at me and maybe try to get within 10 feet of her, and then I'm calling that good. Good. Good job. So right there, I'm gonna call that good for her. It may not look like much, but that is kind of laying down the foundation on building trust. It's just being in the same pen. She was able to get up to me. She was able to look at me and stop for a minute. So that's something that we can keep building on. I've actually built that up. Before, I was just able to get her to look for me from across the pen. If I started moving towards her at all, she'd be taken off. I'm actually gonna put Amethyst, or not Amethyst, but Freya through the chute so I can pull her auction tag off. She's had it on for too long. So these guys we ran through the squeeze chute just to be able to get their vaccinations and everything. So we didn't really get the chance to get their auction tags off. I've gotten them off one by one, and I believe Freya's the last one that has one. Good girl. So that was a pretty good attempt right there, just to kind of check me out and see what I am. So that's pretty much what I would be working with out there. But since she is in here, I'm gonna go ahead and take the advantage of that. I'm trying to get that tag off. Like I said, I might not be able to do that today, but if she wants to at least make that contact with me and try, I'm gonna be pretty happy. Good girl. Oh boy. Can you go get Dr. Nancy?
She's, yeah.
Buffaloes?
We need a microchip scanner on a stick. We need a microchip scanner on a stick. We are going to bring her up on the hill, up to quarantine, so we can put her in the squeeze chute so we can get temp on her. She does appear to have some sort of injury underneath of her jaw, so we're gonna get that checked out and see what it is. So I know she had a little bit of nasal discharge too.
You can see it kind of from this angle.
Okay, let me get my jacket back on so I don't tear off the microphone.
Do you want to halter on her? And then...
Yes, yeah. I'm sedating her. I'm gonna look at underneath her chin, and I am going to swab what discharge there is there to test, again, just being on the safe side. Again, we have a herd of horses here, so we have to think about everybody, and if we're adopting horses out, things like that. So we're gonna do testing, see what we find out, and we'll go from there with her. But you're excited too, but you're our elevated temperature.
What's that?
106.2, but she's excited with that. So I have to take, yeah. So, okay, what I need is, after I swab, open this, and the swab will go down into there, not into this tube. You're just gonna have to be touched by a human, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're gonna have to cut that, so just stick that in there and cut out whatever needs to be cut off for it to fit. Get a little nasal swab. What's coming out of your nose? A little sand camel, trying to hide it and put your cartilage down. Oh, I know, it's so rude for me to poke your nose. I do like you, Freya, okay? Even though I'm giving you a hard time today about being a pet buffalo, I do like you. Buffalo are beautiful when they're on the open range in their native environment. As a veterinarian, you tend to run into a lot of people that will buy a buffalo for the oddity the unexplained animal. They don't have the facilities to work on them. They're very dangerous because, again, buffaloes haven't been truly domesticated by humans, so they're really wild and unpredictable. Mustangs are wonderful in their native environment. Unfortunately, a lot of times what happened with these is they got rounded up by the Bureau of Land Management because, again, they're at a capacity issue for their range. That's a given. But one like her has been through the system at least 2 years and she's not been handled. She's out of her native environment. And again, we can't fault her because us humans is one took her out of her native environment. So one like her, when she comes to us, she's essentially a pet buffalo because, again, she's going to need a lot more training. And just like a situation like this, we've only had her a little over a month, so we're still early in the process and just trying to be able to safely work on her. Luckily, we have our hydraulic chute that we could. If this was at a regular farm, it'd be impossible to do what I just done with her. So that's why my nickname for them is Pet Buffaloes. Until they get properly trained down, they can make wonderful horses, but we do them a disservice a lot of time by rounding them up and they get shoved through the system, enter our world, and they're not adapted to our world. But yeah, that's my affectionate term for them on days like today of if we didn't have this, we'd totally be unable to work on them, just like the pet buffaloes. So these swabs that we took, one nasal and one from the area, will be sent for PCR testing for strangles. We are isolating her as a precaution because we don't want to contaminate the environment anymore where it is. Any of the horses in the field with her will be monitored more closely because she is in the Mustang pasture. Luckily, those have not mingled with anybody else. They've always been by themselves. So we will watch the remaining 4 in that group closely and see what pops up.
So the studio needed to be repainted. It's been this color for a couple years now, and it was dark, and that really, we had a hard time highlighting people's hair colors if they had dark hair. And so we're going for a lighter. It's called Fossil Gray, and we're hoping that this looks great when we're done. Otherwise, I'm going to be doing this again. So gonna get this done here real quick and get on to some other much more important things, but sometimes painting is what you find yourself doing, so you do it to the best of your ability.
They're expected to be zonkies, so zebra donkey cross. Dr. Nancy wasn't quite sure on all of that, but she did see sperm, like cells inside the semen that she extracted. And she did some more research and found out that those hybrid animals can actually still have that semen in the sperm, but it's like not fertile. So we don't know if they're zonkies or donkeys.
They definitely got the stripes.
They're pretty.
Yeah, they are.
And what I like about them is they got the Jerusalem.
The Jerusalem cross there, yeah.
What we're looking for is about 3 donkeys.
3 donkeys?
Yeah.
So let's start with Silver Stripes and Marty.
Hi, buddy.
That's Solstice.
Hi, buddy.
Yeah, he's a halfling right here.
Yep. He's got string halt. String halt, watch his back leg.
I seen him.
Oh, where he picks it up?
Yeah. There's actually a surgery that can correct that. So we're gonna try on him.
He's like the size of Abel.
And he's doing all right with his training. I'm able to pick up his front feet. He still kicks out quite a bit, but then settles down with his rear feet. And then the other 3 you guys were looking at are up here in this top pasture.
All they got to do is watch the livestock and eat cookies.
Well, there you go.
Because I mean that's literally our female donkey.
And typically for those donkeys too, every 8 weeks for farrier care is just fine. So you guys want to adopt all 3?
All 3.
All right.
They're
We'll take 'em all.
going home, and all they're gonna be is just guardian pasture pets.
They're adopting Marty, Stripes, and Silver. And they're gonna come back for Molly potentially.
We're scheduling an appointment to come and look at some the Stripes and Marty, and possibly an additional one. And we're leaving with Stripes, Marty, and Silver, and probably going to return to get Molly. We've heard about y'all through Facebook, and we're a frequent follower of the Horse Plus. It's just a great establishment, wonderful people to deal with. Everybody's always happy and cheerful, and explains everything to you that you need to know about the animals you're adopting. A great place. This will be our 6th animal that we've adopted from this location.
On Thursday, while Corey had brought the Mustangs in, Corey was also working with them a little bit of training. He found that Freya had some swelling underneath her chin, which of course automatically our first thought is potentially strangles. These horses came through, the Mustangs, through the Bureau of Land Management, so they do not routinely vaccinate for strangles. So of course, it's a risk. They've been in quarantine. They came down as a group. We did get a swab. We sent that in, and we did get a positive result for her. So she is in isolation at the moment in the quarantine stall. The other Mustangs are quarantining in place because right now I can track who has had any fence line exposure to them. And the good news with that is by being able to not have moved horses around where we have kept track, we can safely still proceed with our adoption event, giving everybody awareness that yes, we did have and do have a current strangles case on the property, and then that way the adopters can decide, do they want to adopt now or do they want to wait till after the 30 days. Freya was doing well this morning, showing no signs whatsoever, so if Corey hadn't called it when he was working with her, we wouldn't have noticed it, because I looked at all the others in the field this morning as I was doing morning rounds. I couldn't see anything, but again, they're unhandled. So I'm not going to stress them out by running them through the chute just so I can confirm, because again, we're going to quarantine them in place. They're not going to move out of the field. And their 30 days is officially up on 4/8. This is my list for them to hang on the wall, because we had just done their initial strangles vaccination on 2/27, which means it hadn't had time to fully take effect yet. So that's part of the problem when you bring in horses from the market is strangles is common, it happens, and we are managing it. We are not treating with antibiotics off the get-go because I don't want to create chronic carriers. So we're just going to let it run its course, quarantine them in place, watch for signs, and again, let everybody be aware if they're adopting a horse from here within the state of Tennessee, we do have, they can make that due diligence decision, because they should quarantine even when they get back to their facility on that.
So we are getting ready to film the opening scene of Horse Rescue Heroes Season 4. Pretty exciting, and getting the cameras all set up, and we're just sitting here waiting until we can actually talk to the other cameras. And, well,
that's a different color.
Yes,
yeah.
It is a different color. Jason painted it.
Yep.
It was a little dark before, so now we're getting it set up to see if we can be a little bit not so dark. So.
And season 4 is going to be amazing.
It's going to be crazy. It's
absolutely outstanding.
It's going to be a lot of work.
How many organizations are we mentoring this year?
Up to 25. I know there's like 35 applicants.
So we had 2 dropouts.
So we had 2 dropouts.
So we have 34.
34 applicants.
And all of them were amazing.
Wow. So we're going to be very busy digging through these books, and the deadline closed and Dawn's got everything ready, so.
What I think is interesting and super, super exciting is we're actually not releasing this next year.
We're going to be more as it happens. But these organizations will be coming out here soon. And so we're just going to be kind of showing that journey from our weekly episodes, but then also a separate whole show in itself.
Yeah.
So we wanted to include you this year on what it's like filming this and kind of the behind the scenes too.
You were recording that when we were talking.
Oh no.
Seriously?
I'm kidding.
These
She
are
made
lights
a joke.
Good job.
These are lights that we can put.
John, what are you doing?
Lights.
Camera.
Action. Oh. Wait, the cable? Do you see the cable on the camera?
You can see the whole light. Yeah.
Oh, the light. I'll just, you know what?
Oh! He's getting frustrated.
Okay, can you see me now?
Yeah, it's just like not even. It's a good idea though. Yeah, it doesn't work now. Okay. Dawn is glowing right now. But great effort.
Now you're just on fire.
It's just like that's more take me to your leader.
Does that work? No? Okay, we're good. We're good.
Ready?
I think I'm ready to start. I think we're ready. Are we ready?
Away.
Okay. Cameras?
Recording.
Okay.
Rolling.
Recording? Okay. Recording. We're good to go.
It's a whole new season of Horse Rescue Heroes, and this season is going to be amazing.
Jason and Tanya are still back in the studio going over all the applications. I'm so excited to see who they've chosen. You've made your decisions.
We've made our decisions. It's so hard because there's so many amazing organizations. So these are the 25 applicants that we've chosen.
I'm excited.
Oh yes, me too. It's going to be quite the journey this year. I mean, 25 organizations is, it's a lot. So now that we've chosen the 25 organizations, what's your next steps?
I'm going to prepare the email to send out congratulating them to be coming to our mentoring workshop. Get them to do the registration form, book their hotel rooms, and count the days away until they're here.
All right, and if for some reason someone backs out in there, we can try to replace them with another one if we need to. So I'll let you get busy on that, and I've got some stuff I gotta go do. So yeah, it started.
It's setting in and it's actually happening.
Yes.
Just
we know their names.
maybe there's a lucky winner in here.
Well, one of those organizations is gonna win a $15,000 grant.